Hey, ladies and gents, this is Mike Headley. We are back. Another great episode on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. We got a person who I've been knowing for a few years now. Not a few years, I'd probably say a decade since we met at a conference years ago. She's a heavy hitter. When I say heavy hitter in that Georgia market, particularly, I want to say the Atlanta area. But she does cover a wide, diverse area. 20 years in the game, right? Multi-million-dollar producer, and she's at your service when you need her. Let's give a warm welcome to Nikki Crowder, CEO of Solutions First Realty. How you doing, Nick?
Good. Nice to be here, Mike. Thank you.
Man, it's been a second. Me and Nikki was going back and forth and she said, Mike, I want to get on the show. I said, listen, the first time we get it scheduled, based off your schedule, we'll work it out, and she's here today. Thank you, Nick.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So one thing about our show, we honest, we keep it real, and our show is catered to real estate professionals who's seasoned or just getting in the business, and they want to learn from somebody like yourself. Because just like I said, 20 plus years in the business.
Okay.
What was that factor? What was that driving force one day, Nick said, you know something, I want to sell real estate. I want to get my real estate license. What was that?
You know, honestly, my driving force was I needed something flexible. At the time, I was a single parent. My daughter now, which is 30, which is my office manager.
Okay.
30 now. And she was young. And I needed something with the flexibility. I need to be able to take her with me, you know, because being an agent, you showing at night. You remember how it was in the early days. You show 24/7. When they was ready, you was ready. You know, and that's how I rolled. So the 9 to 5 just wasn't cutting it for me. So, yeah, but I met somebody prior when I was looking for my own property. I met a young, well, I can't say he was a young cat, but I met a guy and I was really impressed with his style. And I was like, what do you do for a living? I was an engineer, and that's my background. Is IT. Okay. So, and that was a 9 to 5, and I just wasn't going to live the lifestyle I wanted that I knew I could do in real estate. I was more on the investing side. So then I was like the sales side, and it just gave me that flexibility. So,
so let's unpack that a little bit. You said investor side. Was you in the buy and hold game, flipping, or what was that like? Because I reason why I say that, I want to share this little, and I talk about it all the time. What drove me one time, the time selling real estate, and everybody was flipping properties. So I got a property, we flipped it, and got connected with a realtor. Actually, we're good friends now. And 2 days, the property went under contract, and he made $7,800. So I looked up the HUD statement. I'm like, I need to be doing this. I need to get my license, right? So what was yours?
So you know what, since this is our show, this is Mike's show. We keep it 100. So
that's right.
What motivated me was, I'm just gonna keep it real. This guy has passed. His name, I can't remember his name now, but man, he was so smooth. And back then, this was in the Navigator days. You remember the Lincoln Navigator?
Yes.
He had a Lincoln. He told me, I'm gonna meet you at the Quick Trip in the Lincoln Navigator.
Okay.
Then he called me back and said, oh man, my wife's a Navigator. I'm gonna meet you in my Benz. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So I was guilty of being impressed by some material things, you know what I'm saying? So and it was back when they had the little earpiece thing in there.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
it was back in the day. It was like a big on your face. So I met him. He was real cool. So I was supposed to be looking at the house. I'm like, so how long you been doing this? So what exactly, what you do exactly? So I'm probing him, trying to figure out what he do.
Okay.
You know how we network at the conference. Correct. What you do in your marketplace. So that's kind of what happened. But at the time when I was in corporate America, one night I couldn't sleep, and I saw a video. I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember Carlton Sheets?
Carlton Sheets.
Yes.
That's right.
It came
Carlton
on
Sheets.
Commercial. And it said, buy a house, no money down. And I was like, can you really do that? You know how them infomercials, you're like, is that for real? And I ordered it. It came with a bunch of cassette tapes, like the little tapes back in the day. So it came DVD player too. So I watched this
and a blue binder.
Yes, they had the binders, and I watched every single one. So I'm like, how do you buy a house with no money down? So I read it, and they talked about a silent second. You remember that?
I do.
Second. Now I think they get you in jail for that. But you know what I'm saying? Back then, some kind of way that was legal. So I was like, okay, here's a single chick, single mom. How can I buy a house with no money down? And, you know, my credit was decent. I was like, so how this work? So I couldn't find nobody to help me. Like, you know, one thing about the A, you network, but everybody's not as open and sharing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I really wasn't plugged into the right people, somebody to help me to show me how do I buy this investment property. So I relied strictly on what Carlton Sheets said in the book. I followed it to a T. And I found a couple in Lithonia that let me buy their house with a silence. I had no clue what I was doing. But in the book, in that binder, it said this. I followed to a T, didn't know what I was doing. And I did Section 8. I put a Section 8. She had a voucher. I'll never forget my first tenant Audrey was $1,400. My mortgage was like $725. And the voucher was $1,400. I was like, this how this work? And that's what started it.
Do you go? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and that was the house I used when my daughter was time for my daughter to go to college, and I did a 15-year mortgage on that house. And remember, I had no clue. Like, I was like, I don't know how this works, you know, what the deal is, and from there, I just learned, and, you know, with the Section 8 inspections, having the tenant, you know, the house got to be in certain condition.
Correct.
And that money came in my account on the first, like a check, like a, you know, mailbox money.
Correct. Mailbox money.
I mean, hey, you know, at this age now, we all about the mailbox money.
That's right.
And that was 20 some years ago. You see? So that's what happened.
Question: do you still got that property today?
No, I sold it.
Oh, you ended up selling it. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I pulled the money out for my daughter when she went to college.
Okay.
And then I sold it.
So now you in the game. Okay. So I'll take it from there. How long did it take for you to actually get your real estate license? What I started thinking was, I was like, wait, because I learned with Section 8, well, it was a 3-bedroom when I bought it, Mike. So I learned the more bedrooms you had, the more money you could get. So I was like, can I turn this 3 to a 4? So I had somebody put a wall up and turn my 3 to a 4. Section 8 said it had to have a closet and a window. So the room just had to be that big that it had a window on both sides. So I put the wall in between and made a closet. So that got me more money. So from there, I started thinking, wait, I can take the commission and use that to fix it up, you know, for my fix. That's what happened. So I called my girlfriend and was like, man, after I met the guy, I was like, man, his name was Mike Greer, rest in soul. When I met him and I called my girlfriend, that's the agent too with my firm, I was like, man, we gotta get our license. We gotta do this, dog. This right here gonna take us where we need to go. Correct. Okay.
That was it.
So you got into the game. Now you are licensed. Typically, I like to hear that first 90 days to 6 months, right? Because I want to hear, you know, the stories, because it goes like this. Sometimes we might question, is this, I should really be doing this? What was your first 90, 60 days like?
Well, let me tell you, when me and my girlfriend Angie was in school, I'll never forget. We was in school, Barney Fletcher. That's where we went. We went to Barney Fletcher over in Dunwoody here in Atlanta, and we were in school. And I remember all the people in school, they knew what broker they were joining. They were like, we're going to, you know, so-and-so in town, Buckhead, Lennox, Cross. They were going to all the big dogs. Now, I told you I was a single parent at the time. I needed all my money. I needed all my coins. Correct. You know, this broker said $1,000 a month, debt fee. I was like, ooh, I know. That's gonna keep a checker. I don't know if I can swing that, because it ain't like I'm jumping against a $1 million home. I didn't have the clientele. Most of my clientele was CD people. You know, so they got credit issues. They need credit repair. I didn't have a Rolodex of doctors and lawyers buying $1 million homes. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So luckily for me, when we went back, you know, that 1 year you got to go back and get your post license. Correct. That 1 year, all those same people were back. So it's a year later, we back. I went with my 1099 on my shirt. So my 1 year, I made like 140. My first year, 150. Oh wow! Congratulations. And my girlfriend. Yep. So all those same people that were going to in-town, Buckhead, Cross. Correct. They was like, well, how did you? I was like, hey. But to be fair, we got into the market, in 99, 2000, they were giving houses away. To be fair. Everybody could get a house. Everybody was getting a house. You had a post, you get a house. Everybody, you want a house? Everybody get a house. You didn't have to put no skin in the game. You want a house? Everybody got a house. So to be fair, the market was totally different. So you know, that's what happened.
So okay, so that's first 90 days is always crucial. So granted, social media,
Right.
It was non-existent.
It was not. Right.
How would you have, because again, we see that people don't take advantage of social media as they should, which is free.
Right.
What would Nikki would have done, told her old self, the power of social media, how you to utilize that?
You know what, Mike? To be 100 with you, I struggle with that today.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
I can't tell. It seems like you do a great job.
And let me tell you something. I have to take 59 poses, look to the sky to the left. If I turn this thing around, you see how many lights I got beaming on them? I'm start sweating in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a whole setup now. You got like, and then here's the deal. Like you and I, we're not millennials. You know what I'm saying? You know, my daughter's a millennial, and how millennials do things. What are we? Are we Gen X? I don't even know what we are.
No, right? Yeah, exactly.
But they do things different from how we do things. You know what I'm saying? Everything is like big. So I be wanting to post a picture when I, leave the gym. My daughter like, nah. They want you got the face got to be beat. You got to be. I'm like, but they don't want to see the real me. Don't nobody care about that. So learning all of that and trying to talk to people in my generation. Then they say, well, ain't nobody online. So that whole deal right there, I always tell myself, if I had to redo this thing, if I could take it back 20 plus years, there's a lot of things. And that's why I like about being a broker and training and coaching and mentor. I can share all the mistakes that I made back. And one of them being, remember I mentioned I didn't want to share none of my money. I needed all my money when I got my license. Well, the flip side of that was I didn't get proper training.
Got you.
So I didn't get none of that marketing training.
Correct. Okay.
None of that plant the seed training. I didn't get none of that. So I was just out there hustling.
So let me interject. Was that the trade-off of, okay, you're going to get all your money, but you out here on the island by yourself?
Let me tell you something. I was swimming with no life jacket in the ocean.
So, and again, we definitely don't want you to name the company, but they didn't think about liability to say in case you wrote a contract wrong, and they didn't care about it.
Let me tell you, he had a red ink pen, and when I brought my first dealer now with his red pen, he marked that thing up. It looked like art. Gave it back to me and said, "Go do that again." But hold on, though, the contract was accepted.
Oh wow! Okay, that's different.
We buying it. I don't want to found a buyer to believe me, right?
Wow. Okay.
The other agent probably was like, "Lord bless her." You know what I'm saying? Or she could have been in the same boat I was in. I don't know.
Exactly.
I take it to my broker. Been in the game 100 years. This was somebody had been in the business a long time, and like, here, I got a deal. He was like, "But what is it?" They signed it. They agree they buying it. So that's how my training was.
Got you.
Quick commercial break. If you're interested in a career in real estate or you're a seasoned vet and you might want to change, new environment, you don't like the atmosphere you're in, the Headley Group Realty could be there to assist you with your career. What do we offer? Great culture, great environment, leads, and an awesome commission structure. Let us be there to support your business. One thing, you got to be in the state of North Carolina. Let's get back to the show.
So let's fast forward. We speak about training, and it seemed like you're a very intelligent woman. What would you say, new broker agent, get to the business? I got it. I went to real estate school. I know what I'm doing. And you know the ones who just get licensed, right? You always can tell, right? Especially when dealing with a veteran than a person who's just kind of getting to the business.
Right.
What would you say to someone who feels as though I went to real estate school, I got all the training, I'm ready to go?
You know what? I'm asked that question all the time, especially, being a broker and, I recruit, I'm like I said, I'm in that mailbox money stage, so obviously having a broker and you got worker bees, I'm at home on the weekend to answer calls, to train, to help, people that are out in the field. So, I always tell people, you got different type of people get licensed for I had somebody call me yesterday, say he got a license because he want to sell his mama house. I said, is that all you want to do?
Wow.
He said, probably my sister, my cousin.
Okay.
I ain't trying to be, I ain't trying to be a millionaire in the game. I just, want to help them sell their house, get my little commission. Then you have somebody on the other side that's, a younger version of me that's saying, look, this right here got to work. this got to work for me. So I know I got to invest some money and time and game. Then you got the one that got the license. They ain't got no money to invest in nothing. And the one good thing about those people that can barely pay their E-key, those people, you see what I'm saying? Because of social media, because of YouTube. Like I'm a YouTube premium member. Like I'm on YouTube. I learned how to arch my own eyebrows on YouTube. You can learn anything you want on YouTube. There's no reason people run around here saying they don't know how. Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
That's it.
What Google said. So, some stuff you don't have to pay for. Some stuff you're going to have to pay, but it's on YouTube. All these people on YouTube giving this stuff away for free. If you sit down and take the time and do it. But what I've learned in this game, everybody wants stuff on a plate and just give it to them. So, I mean, and that kind of come with real estate. So I always tell people, if you got it, you can afford it, invest in you, a trainer, a coach, and a trainer, a coach, a mentor. All those things are different things. A lot of people think they all fall into one umbrella, and they don't.
They don't. Mm-hmm.
So and then always asking people, what are your expectations from your brokers? I can tell you my early days, and I network with a lot of big brokers here in Atlanta. You've had some of them on your show that I love to death, and we talk all the time. And agents leave your firm, you always question yourself, Mike, like, dang, was it something I could have did? Maybe I should have had more training. Did I not call them enough or what? And I had to learn myself. Hey, all personalities don't clash. Together sometimes. Sometimes people not really telling you what their goals. I need to know what your goals are. What is it you're really trying to do? If this your side hustle because you're really trying to retire from the government, you really, what I'm saying? What exactly you're trying to do? Then I know how I can help you. Some people I can't help when they call and say, I need an office with a coffee bar. Okay. I don't offer that. Like I don't have a Starbucks shop in here. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But it's one down the street. So you need to ask those things like, what are you expecting from your broker? What do you really want? Because especially the people that's hopping from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage. What exactly are you looking for? Or are you just hopping? I'm just gonna check them all out and see what's going on. They make like a video. So it's a lot of factors going on in there. But if I had to redo training, coaching, mentor, money want an issue, man, I would try to get with all the dogs who've done it. Because the game ain't the wheel is still like this. Like it's just different players in the game.
That's it.
It's inconsistency. Most of us ain't we stuck kind of inconsistency. So can't hate the chick on Instagram that got 8 million followers. She posting like every 2 minutes religiously all day. You know what I'm saying? And you post 2 posts a day? You're gonna have to step it up a little more if you want to kind of get in that realm. So I mean that's the difference. So
Well, somebody, I want to add on something which you just now said about agents leaving the company and then searching, right? And again, I'll show, we keep it real. I actually had experienced that a couple of weeks ago. Came to me and said, hey, actually, let me back it up. Didn't come to me, kind of sent me a text message and said, hey, I think, we want to go another direction, right? So love positive, constructive feedback. There's something we didn't do, or same thing like you said. Nah, it was nothing you did. Great, got no problems, right? So, but then I see why the conversation wasn't had, because in my conference room, I have a 20 steps of how you can be successful. So the first thing I'm gonna say to you, and we jotted down on our paperwork, okay, side delete, which is not a problem with it. Did we do any of these things here? Now, if you didn't do any of these things here, is the problem really the company or is it with you?
Right.
Because it's like you want to blame somebody, but really it's not, because essentially we all do the same thing, right? We help with buyers, we work with sellers, right? So we do it differently, but we all do the same thing. But end of the day, it's you. So I just wanted to piggyback off that what you said, because I just experienced that, and I'm like, if you say I want to exercise, but you don't diet, you don't go to the gym, you don't do anything, how you expect?
Want results though.
Right. Anyway, but I had to add to that. So now, okay, you're in the game. Let's fast forward 20 plus years in the business, right? And one thing I know of Nikki, she's a specialist in the real estate owned foreclosure business, right? She sells a ton of properties. Nikki, that business there, right? A lot of agents who are traditional and don't really know how that field works, right? What would you say to an agent that says, "Hey, I got it. I know what I'm doing. I can take it on, and I'm open for the business," right? So, give them some of the negatives. Again, there's pluses and minuses. What's some of the negatives in that REO world?
You know, especially being a lady, like, and real estate, and that's something else too with social media. You know, if you go to social media and Google real estate right now, you're going to see some of the most beautiful people in the world with the nicest suits, heels, face, hair. I mean, they 10. And you wonder to yourself, even with my agent when we talk, I said, you think they showing houses like that? You know what I'm saying? Do you think they out with their client like that? Do you think they going to their foreclosure doing an inspection like that? You know what I'm saying? Because you and I both know that some of the condition of the houses that we go in, the average person probably wouldn't even go in. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about sometimes pulling out a hazmat suit. I have a hazmat suit in my trunk with a lot of things that I don't want to bring home in my own house, let alone in my car. You see what I'm saying? So I carry a concealed weapon. You know, I would have never thought in real estate. 20, when I started with just first time home buyers that want to own a piece of America, I would have never thought I'm running around with a Glock on my waist and one head under my shirt. Because you don't know. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with squatters, you know, bugs. I mean, you see a lot of stuff, man. So the foreclosure realm that's a totally, not even from the financial part of it, because that's probably a whole nother interview is working with banks, and you got to have some money. It ain't just here's a property. That's like your house. Like seriously, I have had my lights cut off at my house because I thought I paid my light bill, and it was a light bill on one of the foreclosures.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you was paying so much.
I'm like, I paid though. They were like, man, we did not receive your payment. I was like, but I paid. And I looked like, wait, that's not my house. That's the bank house. So I forget. You see what I'm saying? So that's like your house. So working with foreclosure, what I learned, and I don't think in the beginning, I don't think I knew this. I didn't think I knew I was gonna go into places and see things and be exposed to things and meet people that I really don't want to ever meet again in life and be really worried about my safety. Sometimes driving on the street, parking your car, like selling REOs, you got to change your car. You know, real estate, you know, you got your play car, your fun car. You got to change your car you drive in sometimes.
Correct.
A lot.
Correct. And that's why I had to ask you, like I said, because I know you're a specialist in industry. And again, that's another conversation. I just want you to touch on the surface, because a lot of traditional agents think that they can get into the, which they can get into the business, but if the experience is not there, they can get burned as well as a little bit of money.
Easy. And hurt. You know, that's the other dangerous side in real estate. But I can tell you what, an REO has been so good to me working with banks. You know, I met you at an REO conference and a ton of other people. So it's been like priceless for me. The other side too is in real estate, I had to bring, when the market crashed before, you know, there was a 2006, 2007, we got hit hard. Like it was like the rug was taken, you was gone. What I failed in that was I didn't follow the market. I tell my agents now, when I have a new agent, I get them who moved the cheese. I'm giving you this book for a reason, because the cheese always move. In real estate, baby, the cheese always moving. You know how to rat chase that cheese. You got to know what's going on in the market. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, we're in a place in the real estate market. It's finna switch. What you working on? You still doing your same thing you were doing last year? You finna get left, boo. So same way in REOs with us, when we hear about a company, Mike, if we don't sign up right away, dog,
that's right.
It's over. They got everybody. You lost it just like that. So in real estate, if you don't stand to know on what's going in the market, you're gonna be just like I was when the market crashed last time. I was closing so many deals, I wasn't following the market. All of a sudden, all my deals fell apart. I was like, what happened?
Gotcha. What's going on now?
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
What's going on? So I wasn't following the cheese. So I vowed that would never happen to me again. So when I go to these companies, people like, I don't know if I should go. No, I need to go see what they saying up there. I need to know what they saying, what they projecting. I have to know how to position myself, you know? Okay.
So great segue to not post, because we're still in this pandemic. How has the pandemic shifted your business, and where do you see the market turning, going from a seller's market to the buyer's market anytime soon? What's your thoughts? You know what,
honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. When this whole pandemic, for me, it was kind of like I was at work and I was driving. They said it was we had COVID. I was like, I heard COVID-19 and COVID damn. I was like, well, what is it called? And then all of a sudden everything was closed. People said, go buy tissue. I'm like, we out of tissue? What's happening?
I know, right?
So once again, it came up on you so quick. Like you really didn't have time to really think. I'm just like, yeah, we good. They were like, no, we're not good. It's bad. The world shut down. I'm like, wait, what? So that hit me hard. Then when they start saying our REO stuff, but remember, we learned in real estate, once you've been in the sale and you already know you don't put all your eggs in one basket. One thing in real estate, I tell my agent, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Meaning, don't put all your eggs in one client. Don't do it, because if they snatch it, then you out. So you gotta have some other little seeds, something going on to diversify so you can survive. But me with REO bought, to me, it bridged that gap. How could I survive in real estate, selling houses, which what I love to do? But how do I survive in a down market? I know how to survive in an up market. Hell, we sell houses, right?
Correct.
Houses you sell, no big deal. But when there's no houses sell, now what you do? Now I thought REOs had bridged that gap for me. Like what you do in a down market. So down market, you got REO. Guess what? Now we're in a whole nother market. Ain't no REOs because you got a moratorium. So now every month you check and say, is the moratorium up? Is it moratorium? Did we get any property? Did we get anything?
Correct.
So for me, it was kind of like, so we shut this down. And then at that time, we still had inventory, but people weren't going out. So now we're doing virtual showing. Well, how did that work? We're going to do a video. You're going to do a duo?
Exactly.
How are we going to do that? Now we got Zoom. You're like, what is Zoom is? How you do? So we got this whole learning curve that all of us had to go through. And I'm trying to figure out how we're going to eat. How is this thing going to play out? Correct. Then as a broker, as an owner, stress level get up at your company. Who they call the wine to? You know what therapist. You know what therapist. So now you're like, hey, so it was just kind of hard. But now we almost 2 years in with COVID. Hey, we still standing. Lights on, still eating. You know what I'm saying? That's it. We got 5 houses. I know my agent at least said 2 or 3 of them. So
okay. Exactly.
So it's rough. It's limited, but I mean, you got to really seriously step your hustle game up. You know what I'm saying? Keep your pipeline filled. Those people gonna find a house eventually. And to be honest, I don't know when this thing. I mean, the calls we begin saying, "Hey, well, I be to buy a house." Like the Corolla days of buying a house is over. I don't think we'll ever see that. You'll never
correct.
Get
I don't think we'll see that.
You missed that. It's over. Now I think we're gonna get some stuff, but it's not gonna be in abundance how it was back in the day. So I think if we just level out a little bit, and I'm seeing houses hit the market. I'm seeing people selling. I don't know where they're going, but people putting their house on the market because the equity right now is unbelievable. So you kind of forced to sell, really, like, oh, do I sit here? So you kind of like extend the stay or get my money and sit, But like I said, this has been interesting for all of us, but we still standing though.
And just to add to that, when we say that won't be like it was, these big investment companies, they paying cash, right? So they're paying cash, knocking out the average buyer who's finance, who don't have the extra money for the due diligence and the earnest money, so they lose out. Let's shift in terms of your, just like I said, your wealth of knowledge in the business and just like all your years experience. What suggestions would you give a seasoned agent who's always been doing it a particular way, even though you touched on it a minute ago, always and as opposed to shifting? I don't need that. Nah, I'm gonna do it this way. How would that affect their business 2, 3, 5 years from now?
I got some friends been in the game 30 something, 40 something, way like they not about that gram life. Like you lucky you give them on Facebook. But Gram and don't mention TikTok. What? Yeah. So that they just stuck. That's the way they're gonna do it, and that's just how they're gonna do it. I used to be like, hey, some of them don't even really. They not really down with the text thing. Like I still know people that's really not into text. They're still like, nah, I don't really know. I've had some agents at my company that no longer with my company. I've had some people that was kind of older, been licensed since the 70s and 80s. I've had my share of people that seasoned agents, and they moved on to other places because they were so against change. They didn't even want to do my procedure on how I did stuff in my company.
Wow. That's interesting.
You know how you say, "Hey, this is how we do our paperwork transactions."
Correct. Exactly. We use a back office system.
Use back office system. You log in, you upload your doc.
Correct.
You know, back then we used fax number. I'm like,
oh
no, fax. Yeah. So they like everybody should keep a fax. So you know what? Honestly, I don't have the energy at the time to really try to, bring people to the new. I'm struggling with certain part. I'm still trying to figure out, just learn how to do the little boomerang thing. So I'm still trying to. I'm still trying to catch up because I don't want to be left behind. So I mean, if you're that stubborn, I don't even know how this is gonna work in real estate. Like, I don't even know how people survive. I don't think I can think what people like that is. I think they have such a strong database of other people like them. You know, they're kind of afraid of technology or don't trust it. Because you got the people that don't trust it, and I got a girlfriend don't trust it. Hey, no, don't put it on there. They're gonna steal it. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying. So, and that's who they network. That's who they sell to, and that's how they do. That ain't gonna fly millennials. Last I heard, they said millennials are the one buying houses. So if you're gonna work with a millennium, you're gonna have to get used to doing a whole deal via text.
That's it. Basically, minimize that phone
conversation. A whole deal through text message. You know what I'm saying? You get to the close table like, oh, it's so nice to see you. So you know what I'm saying? Like you did a whole deal, virtual showings and all that. So hey, and that applies to loan officers. I've had to let loan officers go because they just want hip to the time. I can't. Man. Yes. So you got to match your buyer to the right loan officer. So if I got an old school loan officer, they want them to go online and do a whole application. Oh no, they don't do online. You got to come to the office. Here go Millennium saying, can I just do it online? And they're saying no. You see what I'm saying? So I can't match them together. I got to match that person with another millennium that's up on the cutting edge technology.
Good point.
You see?
Good point. Good point.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our show. We're gonna interrupt you real quickly. We are in the business of referrals. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, residential or commercial, here in the North Carolina area, refer us. We really appreciate that.
Give us your coverage areas in the state of Georgia.
I pretty much do the metro area. You know, sometimes in metro Atlanta area, we got quite a few counties here, but some rural areas. I mean, Atlanta, it's huge.
Correct. It's so diverse. Correct.
Big. I basically go and sell whatever. I cut my limit off probably like a 2-hour drive. Like,
2-hour drive. Okay. 2-hour radius.
Right. So I kind of keep it. And here in Atlanta, let me tell you, it's normal for us to drive an hour to get places.
Exactly. Gotcha.
Like for most people, they like, you drive an hour to go to dinner? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's normal. So for me to get to downtown right now, if I met somebody to get to the airport, it's an hour. You see?
Okay.
So that's normal for us. That's it. People that's in the suburbs. I'm considered in the suburbs. So that would be normal for me to get to the in town.
Gotcha. So you say you cover within the 2-hour radius. Is there an area you specialize in? I would say more in real estate. Some people just work in investors, first-time buyers, high-end luxury. Or does it matter? Or you going to get it?
You know what? The old Nikki, I just go get it. It don't matter now that I'm older and wiser, and I know now all money ain't good money.
That's right. Good point.
You know what I'm saying? I don't chase as like I used to. If somebody say they don't want to work with you back then, I would be like, what? Now you're like, hey, next.
I know, right? I feel that.
And that's not a sense of arrogancy or you don't care, but after you get to a certain point in your career, I think that's in any career. I've talked to my dentist and he was like, nigga, it's like they want me a patient decide they don't want me to use my services. They go to a dentist down the street, use their services. You got options. Everybody don't jail. So for me, as far as I kind of pick and choose, to be honest, I kind of go out personality, especially in this market. I have my agents doing a lot of buyer and seller consults. Really, they kind of like almost like a DISC assessment. Because now in this market, you kind of got to like know people mental state. Somebody come in the office and say, I need to find a house tomorrow. Well, I know I can't. I probably ain't gonna be able to find you there tomorrow.
Correct. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So I would need to ask you, like, are you okay if we find your house and that? You can't find me tomorrow. I need to go. I already know then that's not gonna work, Mike.
Exactly. This ain't gonna work. Yeah. Exactly.
This ain't gonna work. So why waste my time on it? Yes. $800,000 house. Yes, I would love that commission, but it's not practical.
Correct.
So you need to know where y'all at as far as a partnership, because you're working with somebody to buy, sell, or whatever. where you at and what your expectations are. I think to me, that's more important for me now. And I'm telling my agents that don't be so happy because somebody call you and say they want to buy a house. Y'all may not be a good fit.
Correct.
May not be a good fit. So there's more involved than I just want to buy a house. I just want to sell a house. So there's a lot, way more involved in it. So,
Nikki, you have definitely enlightened us with some great insight. Let me ask you something here. Is there a question that you wish I would have asked you that you would love to answer?
Oh, let me think.
You gave us so many great tips. Go ahead.
I got one.
What's
Somebody
that?
asked me this too. We were doing personality. I'm a type A.
Okay.
Right? And I know that for a fact. Sometimes I have to think a lot before I say stuff because it can come across very
condescending
a
little bit.
Cut,
okay.
Kind of just like, and I don't mean to come across that way. I took some agents with me on a listing appointment, and they was like, "Man, did you just tell the seller that you smell like animal feces in the bedroom?" Well, I did, and he needs to know that because if I'm listing it, if I smell it, right, other agents gonna smell it. They're gonna ask me, well, "Did he have a dog? Or did he have a cat?" I can't be scared when I go out here and do these,
Correct.
Listen appointments with these people, and the agents were saying, I don't know if I would have said that. He kind of looked at you. I was like, hey, he either gonna respect the fact that you want me to come out do an assessment of the house and tell you. So it's a trip. 20 years later, like the old Nikki, I would have got in my car and said, Lord, it smells horrible in there. That cat, they must have sprayed in the corner. Now I'm about to bring the plug in and spray. I wouldn't have said it. The Nikki now, that's why when I do my training, telling people to be confident in your skin, confident in your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because what's for you is for you. And then just knowing how to sell yourself for who you are. I'm a country girl. Everything I say ain't always politically correct. You know what I'm saying? Verbs and nouns and things get mixed up, So, but I'm comfortable. This is who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, and it is what it is at the end of the day. So at this point, I ain't changing, So, that's my deal. So being in real estate, being comfortable with who you are, your personality, your style, your flow. I had somebody tell me, you should make your agents, they need to all take, professional pictures with their houses. Listen, I got agents, got pictures with their golden retrievers and horses. They sell more houses than anybody. They want to take pictures with their horse.
Correct.
With their horse, I'm cool with it. That's who they are. That's what they do. I'm fine with it. If somebody don't want to use me because you see my agent with a picture with a horse or a dog, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's cool too. You see? So it's just, that's a big component in real estate. I've lost agents because they saw somebody online. They was like, I just felt like, their image was, then they get over there and be like, oh no, that's not what I thought. Can I come back?
Image
is everything. And see, that wasn't like us when we got in the game, Mike.
That's right.
We didn't have all that. Didn't nobody know what you look like? I mean, don't you put a picture on the side? Now.
And just to add to what you just said, authenticity really wins. When you just said something about your agents, they want to take a picture with their horses, let them do that because they feel comfortable and they're proud. That's where they're most productive in that space. So I take my hat over to you. Yeah. Nikki, we ask guests for 2 golden nuggets, even though you gave us about 24. Whether it's a book, a scripture, a poem, or anything you want to recommend, what is 2 golden nuggets? Go ahead and go.
2 golden nuggets. Okay. So mine would is what we just mentioned about be true in your skin, your personality, who you are. Don't get in this game trying to be anybody else but yourself. Some of us on the streets, they keep it 100. That is what that means. Okay.
That's it.
The second golden nugget would be also don't hurt nobody or use nobody or run over somebody trying to survive in the game. Don't do that. Don't do that. That stuff always circle back around and bite you. Don't do it. Yep.
Well, listen, Nikki, you have really enlightened us. We want to thank Nikki Crowder for being on our show, CEO of Solutions First Realty. And again, we'll have all her information in our show notes, how she can be reached. I want to thank you, Nikki. We'll see you all next time on the Headley Real Estate Show.
Thanks, guys. Take care.